All right, let's see what we need in order to crochet our checkpoint throw. You're going to need 1 cone each of Lily Sugar and Cream, and this is in black and this is in white. What I did was really basic. I just crocheted the number of stitches, and I'll have those for you in a minute here when we get into the pattern, because I can't remember right now. But I just crocheted the width that I want with a chain, and then I just went through the pattern until I used both cones. So that was so easy to do, and that's what I want. I want you guys to have something that's easy, but something maybe that doesn't look so easy. Isn't this pretty? This is just amazing to me that this is like, okay. So notice here, one side looks dominantly black and then the other one looks dominantly white. So I find that to be fascinating too. All right, so you're going to need the yarn that I mentioned. Of course, our favorite bent yarn needles. A bent yarn needle, you just need one, but that's my favorite pack, and all the links for these things will be in the description below. A pair of very sharp scissors. If you've never seen these necklaces before, they're awesome. As you can imagine, you'll never lose your scissors again. A measuring tape. Another favorite tool of mine is this Clover yarn threader. I absolutely love it. I like vintage things, and I like actually mixing vintage things with modern things. But this particular thing, it's just amazing how fast you can thread all weights of yarn through your needle with that. Of course, another one of my favorite tools is this ring row counter. Absolutely love it. You're going to need that. And I want to talk about this. I've talked about this little guy before, and I cannot tell you how amazing this thing is. I crochet all time, all time during the day and night. So when I'm crocheting at night, especially when I'm crocheting with a dark yarn color, I love this thing. It's like, it's chargeable. It just fits around your neck. It's super light. It's super comfortable. It's not cumbersome at all, but you can turn it on. It's got 1, 2, 3 levels of brightness or intensity, whatever you want to call it. But if you're, even during the day, when I'm using like this black yarn, I find that in certain places where I crochet, I need this light to see the stitches. So with this particular pattern being black and white, you won't go wrong with this. It's not that expensive, but it's an invaluable tool nonetheless. All right, let's get started. I got so excited I forgot to tell you, I used a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. You can use any size with this yarn. I wouldn't go lower though with this technique than a 5.5, but use the size that you want. If you use a smaller size, obviously the stitches are going to be a lot tighter. This was for summer, so I wanted it to be a little more open. To start off, this was done in black and ecru, but I'm going to demonstrate this in a blue cotton and ecru. I believe that you'll be able to see the stitches much easier. So to begin, you simply want to decide how wide your blanket should be or your throw should be, and then chain the same number of stitches that will equal that width, but they have to be in an odd number. All right, in my blanket I crocheted a chain of 83 stitches, and that means that I ended up working over 82 stitches. Here I have chained 15, so that means that for demonstration purposes, we're going to be working into 14 stitches across. So as we always do with most of my patterns, we're going to be crocheting our foundation row into this back bump or back loop of each chain. And I've showed you this before, but for the new people, we'll take a look and see where we're at here. This is a side view, and this is the easiest way to see it. But this right here is the back bump, and that's how we want to roll today. So the first back bump, we're just going to skip that like we would, and we're going to go into the second back bump. And again, the first row is just the way it is. It's wonky sometimes, and it's especially wonky for me because I'm standing up and this table is lower than what I need it to be. I stand up and crochet a lot, but not here. I have a desk that moves up and down, so that's really easy. But it's just a single crochet into the first stitch, and then, or into that first back bump, and then a double crochet into the next back bump. And that's the stitch pattern that we repeat throughout, is a single crochet into the first stitch that we're working, followed by a double crochet into the next stitch, and then a single crochet and double crochet all the way across. Now, because we will be working, I don't like that, it's too loose. This is what I'm talking about here. Because we will be working over an even number of stitches, that's how cool this is. Your pattern must always end with a double crochet, and I'll explain that in a moment. But we're going to learn how to change colors, carry yarn, and all that fun stuff here in this pattern today. So just continue on with this single crochet, double crochet, again into the back loops of each chain stitch. And forgive me if mine looks wonky, but I'm sorry. It's just going to look that way until we get going, and then it'll be fine. All right, I'll meet you. Stop before the last stitch, before you do the last one. Okay, so here we are at the last stitch. Now, before we continue, grab your second color and get that out because we're going to use it now. Okay, you've grabbed your second color, and we have one more stitch to go. And as I said before, the last stitch in this is always a double crochet because we're working over a pattern of 2 stitches. So we did half of our double crochet. We have 2 loops on. Now we're going to what's called close out our stitch. Try to make your chain, or your tail, I'm sorry, even with your other one if you can. If it's off a little bit, that's okay. It's just easier to weave. And then yarn over with this second color and pull through. And now you have closed out that double crochet stitch, which is again the last stitch. And next we're going to chain 1, and before we turn, just lay your work down and tie your tail. Don't do it too tight because you might need to adjust it, but just get it so that it's secure and it's not flopping all over the place. Okay, all right, so then we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to turn. Now the fun begins. Okay, perhaps one of the most important things to remember when you're working with 2 strands is to keep one to your left and one to your right. It doesn't really matter which one because we're going to be rotating over these. We're going to be alternating rows with each color. But what's most important is that you keep, if you're sitting down, okay, keep one on your right side and one on your left, and your body should be in the center. In other words, you need something in the center to separate these skeins. And the reason being is that this is the #1 problem with crocheting with 2 skeins of yarn. Whether you're doing 2 colors or not, it doesn't matter. The skeins can get twisted. and I'm going to show you how to never have that happen. But the first thing to do to assure that that won't happen is to make sure that you've got your skeins separated by something in the middle, hopefully your body. All right, now we worked with our blue. Now we're going to be working with our black. And unfortunately, the only thing that you really got to be careful of here is don't grab your tail. Hello. It's it is one of those things. It's a hazard, but we're going to work through it. All right, so just make sure that your tails are off to the side and you've got your new color, in this case, our ecru, and we're going to pull up this strand that we just worked with, this blue strand, and we're going to lay it across the top of our stitches, and that's called carrying a color or carrying a skein or carrying your yarn, however you want to do it. So you'll find that once you get the hang of this, how to hold it, this is naturally going to occur. Just check it from time to time to make sure that you're covering or carrying that color, because you want to stitch over it. That's how this works. So you can see I've got my blue skein on top of my blue yarn, because that means it was the previous color, and I'm just going to insert my hook here and do a single crochet with my new color. Now make sure you've caught that blue one. The first stitch in catching it is probably going to carry you through, at least it does with me anyway. As long as I make sure I catch my first and my last stitch of the row, I never have a problem. So you're just going to be holding that, and now you're going to double crochet into the next stitch. Single crochet right over that blue color, and the one that you're going to be pulling up the most is going to be the skein color that you're working with, and then double crochet. All right, so go ahead and single and double crochet. This is your repeat row. This is how you're going to complete this blanket. I promised you it was easy. This is super easy. If you've never carried yarn before, you guys, you can do this. A beginner can do this, and you can do it. Just practice. If you've never done it before, I highly encourage you to just do what I'm doing here. Crochet a little gauge swatch, and just make sure that you've got the technique of carrying it down, because once you've got it, it's just like anything else. You're going to be able to watch TV and zip through this project, no problem. Okay, I intentionally saved the last stitch of row 1, the repeat row. I'm calling this row the foundation row for us to do together. So I just completed a single crochet. I've got my last stitch going here, so I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to insert my hook, and then I'm going to, I don't know, some people don't like this, but you can do it this way. I'll slow it down. Yarning over for the next portion of the double crochet, yarn over, and then pull through 2 loops with this color. All right, drop this white color, this ecru color, just drop it. All right, and then pick up your blue, yarn over, and complete your double crochet stitch. I'll show it to you again. Okay, I dropped this, picking this up, yarn over, and I pull through my last 2 loops. Now I'm going to chain 1 more, because this is the color that I'm going to be working with. I am turning my yarn, I am turning my project. Now I have my white on my left and I have my blue on my right. So you'd think this is going to be a problem. It's not. Just bring this back, okay? Pull up your blue, because that's going to be what you're working with now, and you'd have to do that no matter if you were, even if you were crocheting with one strand. So you've chained 1 from the previous row. We're working with our blue. We're picking up that white, and we're just going to make sure that we catch it, that it's going to lay on top. Okay, there you go. You will not have a problem with this. Now you're just going to be leaving this on the bottom. Leave it on the bottom and continue on with your pattern of single and double crochets across. And you're carrying your yarn because your yarn is right on top there. That is right there. And now you're houndstoothing, people. You're just making that houndstooth pattern. And it's not like a perfect houndstooth, but you know what? It's close enough. Okay, now I want to show you a hack. Let's say you're going along here and you're watching TV, oops, and you want to know where you're at because you lost your count. This right here is the double. You can see that it's taller, okay, and it's every other stitch. So what that means is that, okay, I just did a double here, but what if I can't see that? Or what if I just want to double check and make sure that I'm on the right track? No worries. You're always going to do the opposite in the row that you're working with of the stitch below. So in other words, what we're doing here is we're crocheting a double crochet into the single stitch in the single crochet stitch from the row below, and we're doing a double crochet into the single crochet stitch from the row below. And if I didn't say that, it's a single into a double and a double into the single, and that should clarify any way that I misspoke. Right here we are at the last stitch. Again, it's always a double, so I'm going to first start out with a normal double crochet. Oops, I messed that up. I'm sorry about that, guys. My chains were throwing me off there. Excuse me, please. All right, a double. I just pulled through the first 2 loops, so that's half. I'm going to drop this yarn, but I'm going to pull it forward, okay? And then I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to crochet or complete that stitch. Then I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to turn. Now, I am not twisted. I am totally cool. Just watch what you're doing at the end always, and close out your stitch, or that's the yarn over of the last 2 loops with your new strand for your next row. And then make sure that when you turn after you've chained 1, that you are still going with this on, with your strand that's on the right, it's still on the right, and your strand that's on the left is still on the left, and you will have no problems at all. All right, I wanted to talk about one more thing with this checkpoint throw. I intentionally left my edges, I didn't put a border on it. First of all, I have other things to do. I didn't want to put a border. I was just kind of being lazy. But then realistically, I also, because this is for my glamping series, I kind of like the fact that if I put a border up the side here, that I won't be able to see that row, that complete row of the color change. If you want to put a border on your checkpoint throw, no problem. Just don't fasten off on your last stitch and go into that same stitch 2 times, so you've got 3 total. Now what you're really going to have to do is you're going to have to really look between and hit between these rows. So here's a row right here, and then a row right here, here, and here, because see, this was actually 2 stitches high, so you've really got more than 1, but not quite 2, because we chained 1. So you're just going to have to play with that a little bit. I would definitely not go down a hook size to do that, but I would also make sure that I was crocheting a single crochet. But what I'm trying to say is from here to here, you're probably going to have to put 2 single crochets, even though it's really kind of like 1 row, because it's going to pull if you don't. But again, if you want to put a border, you're going to have to just play around with the tension of it to get that nice, neat look. But I personally think that this is one of the very few projects that we're lucky enough that we don't have to put a border. All right, thank you for watching. And if you want the free pattern, please don't forget, go to my Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/BDD Insiders, and you can get this written pattern for free. Blessings to you all.